Merciful Munching, Why Diets Don't Work, but the Grace of God Does, a primer to the Gourmet Gospel series, written and narrated by A. Leroy. Preface. The Oxford English Dictionary defines grace as the free and unmerited favour of God. The implications of this simple phrase are unfathomably wonderful and illuminating, with the power to transform lives and even all of humanity. Yet the human race has barely begun to grasp its import, and our churches certainly haven't helped. Setting itself up in opposition to grace is law, for which I will use a capital L, except in quotes. I do not mean man-made acts of legislation, though these can be vicious enough, but a general polarization of life into right and wrong. In conceiving this Gourmet Gospel series as a champion of grace and a dispeller of law, I am compelled by the desire to set others free, especially when it comes to judgments and prohibitions about eating. Diets, in particular, are a type of law, and as the law, make sin increase. To quote the Apostle Paul, as I will often do throughout this series, they inevitably produce the opposite result to that intended. Instead, I would set before you a path to guilt-free eating, and if weight loss is your goal, a peaceful journey to it. Though my thesis is largely derived from the Bible, you don't have to consider yourself a Christian to benefit. In any case, my conclusions are often at odds with most preaching you'll hear in churches. I embrace that wondrous tautology, again quoting Paul, that "it was for freedom that Christ has set us free." I would show that that freedom can be tasted both literally and metaphorically. For now, bear in mind that it is impossible to overeat. In the grace of God, there exists no dividing line between too much and too little, no threshold to cross into too anything. Though we can eat to discomfort, in our true nature none of us chooses to be uncomfortable. Also consider that the stomach is a flexible thing, able to expand or contract according to its contents. Can we not endow our consciences with the same flexibility? Before I proceed, a note about my use of the pronoun he throughout to describe a generalized third person, implying of course that it stands for he or she. I do so for economy of language, and assure the reader the male pronoun is used to describe the villains of this piece just as much as the heroes. Enjoy.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?